Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Friday to you all. Hopefully, you're enjoying your early start to the weekend and wrapping up your working week or school week off well. Today, we have got, I guess, technically new music, but I think this is from yesterday, if I remember correctly. Release schedule has been pretty hectic this week, and, well, with other life obligations I've had to meet, I've had to like limit myself in terms of like time allocation, things like that. But we're back with the ICHILLIN girls again, and they dropped a single titled Siren very recently. And I figured take the time to check it out today. Um, I will say this though, I don't know why it keeps happening the way it is, but we've featured ICHILLIN on the channel, including today, 3 times. All 3 times have been on the same day where we check out Craxy stuff. I don't know why. Like, the first time we checked out iChillin', I think it was like Draw My Thing back in the day, and then their last title track that I can't even remember the name of right now. Actually, I have Spotify open so I can find out. Alarm. When they dropped the single Alarm a little while ago, that was also on the same day as a Craxy comeback. Admittedly, with today, Craxy came back on the 9th, I think, and iChillin' yesterday on the 11th. But we're getting around to them on the same day, and it's kind of a weird coincidence that this has happened 3 times now. Because I did not plan for this to happen. I was originally planning on getting to iChillin' yesterday, but I had some other allocated stuff that we needed to catch up on, so yeah, really weird coincidence that we featured iChillin' and Craxy on the same day, 3 consecutive releases. I don't know, it's just such a weird coincidence to me. I find it very fascinating, but very weird also. But this is not the time for Craxy. This is time for iChillin' Siren. Now, as usual, I don't know what these are supposed to sound like because I don't listen to audio teasers or anything like that. Fortunately, we don't have captions, but that is okay. We'll enjoy the music nonetheless. So, here we go.
다급하게 나를 쫓는 siren 붉은 빛의 꽃잎들이 쌓이네 뭐 상관없어 비극보다 이 편이 조금 더 나으니까
Oh, this is a little bit aggressive for iChillin', isn't it?
이제부터 진짜 재미있는 highlight 해버리고 던질 거야 가면 속에 숨긴 날 멋대로 판단하지만
It's almost industrial crunchy, but I kinda like it.
Play like a villain. Beat about jump down.
Anti-drop, okay.
Play like a villain.
I don't dislike it. Typically, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not like the biggest fan of anti-drop, but I don't mind this one. Nice transition with the paper tear.
This
pre-chorus is really nice. I love the build that this pre-chorus has. He's the vocal harmony. Yeah, it's such an interesting drop because it's very much an anti-drop. But my brain's not processing it as one.
and I give you what you deserve. 궁금할 거야 기다려. 후회하기엔 늦었지. 덤벼들 거야 겁없이. There's no love, just give it up.
I'm liking the bridge. I like the build.
Play like a villain. beat-a-ba, 좀 더. Back at one. Play like a villain.
Okay, and it's a completely different beat for the final outro, or the final chorus as well.
Stay up, vigilant. Ain't no time to be rushing up. Stay up, vigilant. And we'll take it all back at one.
Interesting. Post-credits scene? I wonder if that's going to tie into whatever their next release is going to be. Is that lore? Is that lore? Nah, I don't know if ICHILLIN has lore or anything like that, but if that's a little teaser into what the next era is going to be, that might be really interesting, because that's already, like, visually a very big style switch to what we just saw in Siren. But speaking of style switches, I feel like this is very different for ICHILLIN's music. Admittedly, I haven't listened to the music a whole lot. I've only really ever heard the singles that are dropped while we've been kind of doing reactions for the past 7 months or so. But from songs, like, compared to songs like La Luna from was La Luna last year or 2 years ago? Like, even though La Luna was a B-side, that was one heck of a B-side. But this is extremely... This is as girl crushes I think ICHILLIN have ever gone in recent memory for me. And it's... I kind of like it. I don't actually know if like is the right word for it, but it's really different. It's in your face. It is crunchy. It's one of those brain rattler type of rumble beats, and it's... I thought I would be more mad at it than I actually am. Just kind of surprising. This song is kind of thrown away most, like, speculation I have about the kind of, like, the industrial, crunchy, heavy EDM type beats, because I do quite like a good EDM beat. I very much grew up, high school, mid-2010s, that kind of video game, what do you call it? That era of YouTube where, video games and Call of Duty, like, montages, things like that, those were very much in, so I was very much involved with that EDM type of music scene. So I do quite like a wide range of EDM, but this type of EDM isn't one that I would really go for. I feel like I've acquired this taste more through K-pop than I have with EDM. But again, we run into the problem of the anti-drop. Now, the anti-drop, I think, is a really divisive, there we go, a divisive musical element. Because there are some people who really like an anti-drop, and there are some people who really do not like an anti-drop. I'm not the biggest fan of an anti-drop, but if it's incorporated well, I don't really have a problem with. The anti-drop does is it creates a contrasting focal point in the song where you have this... You know what? Actually, let's go back to the chorus. If I can find it. So you've got this pre-chorus that's building, right? Build it, and then...
Play like a villain.
And then you've got this beat that all of a sudden the feel doesn't really match the kind of rush of energy you got in the pre-chorus. And that's essentially what the anti-drop is there to do, is it's meant to create that focal point where it's almost like a pause in a way where you build up all this energy leading into the chorus and then you seal it off at the end. And then what they do with it is entirely up to the songwriter now. Whether they hold off on the release of Energy until 4 bars later, or they just don't even give you a choral flourish in the first verse, something like that. There are many ways you can go about it. But the anti-drop seals in the energy of it. And what Siren does is exactly that. But for some reason, my brain doesn't really comprehend the fact that even though it's supposed to, it doesn't really feel like it, if that makes sense. Like this drop.
Play like a villain. Beat a bar, jump the back at one. Play like a villain. I'ma be killer. Back at one.
Like it's slow. The beat has slowed down. The vibe of the song has slowed down. It's got that, sure, it's got that crunchy 808 there. But it's not, it doesn't have the same kind of fast percussion part that we left off with at the end of the pre-chorus. But the beat reminds me of something. It's a, what's the song? Jesse's What Kind of X? Is that what the song is called? It reminds me a little bit of the chorus of that Jesse song. I really wanna... Yeah, What Type of X? It reminds me of the chorus drop from that. It's got the same type of 808 feel to it. And maybe that's why it doesn't feel like as much of an anti-drop as maybe it should come across as. Because there are songs that sound familiar. And so maybe that connection is lessening the blow of the anti-drop for me, but I don't hate it. It's different. And I appreciate the fact that ICHILLIN are trying to go with a different direction, or maybe they're elaborating on a sound that they've had in the past. This is a single, so they don't really have any B-sides to compare off of and things like that. So in terms of like a little experimental single, I'm not mad at it one bit. ICHILLIN. Good stuff indeed. I'm trying to think of, like, I'm looking at... Okay, La Luna was before I started making videos. So the first release was Draw. Yep, Draw, and then we checked out Alarm before, and now it's Siren. So it's all been singles. Interesting. Oh, so they've only had one EP in general. They have 6 releases and 1 EP, 5 singles. Interesting. I wonder if we're going to get an EP from them again. Because, frankly, if they have the capability of producing B-sides like La Luna from last year, and all they're doing is releasing singles, I would like to hear B-sides, because they have the capabilities of producing the Mega B-side. No, the Mega B-side, however you want to use that tag. So I would like to see that being utilized again. Admittedly, I do kind of feel that way about a lot of groups, you know. For some reason, some companies just would rather pump out single after single after single instead of waiting for an EP, things like that. Some companies just make their fans wait for a release for, you know, over a year. Yuehua with Everglow. I didn't say that. But, you know, lots of singles is fine. But I feel like they've been active for over a year now, I think. Yeah, Gaia was September 8th, 21. And I guess, in a way, Bridge of Dreams, their EP, was kind of like a repackage of their previous 2 singles plus a couple B-sides. So it's like... not Crexy, ICHILLIN's discography isn't that extensive for a group that's been promoting for over a year, so I would like to see more music from them at some point. But that's just high hopes, right? 'Tis the pleasure of Nukuda. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back out into the world. Whether it be, you know, checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, even picking up a piece of trash off the street, just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, if you are ever going through a tough time in your life for whatever reason it may be, just know that even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, that I will always be a friend, an ally, shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.